Antonio, thank you very much for joining us. We're excited to have the opportunity to have this conversation with you in advance of World Strategy Week. Why don't you begin by giving us a little bit of background about who you are and your role at PNB Paribas?
Pleasure to be here with you and to participate in such a important event. It's a beginning of something I hope becomes some recurrent and well known in the agenda of the strategy people and the executives in the world. My background is a bit unusual. I have a mix of real business experience, so I do hold a day-to-day executive job in a large multinational. But at the same time, I'm a teacher at different business schools. I've been teaching for 10 years. I do research, I advise senior executives, and I participate very regularly in conferences. So I have this combination of academic and business experience.
We had some really interesting conversation about the connection between strategy and project management. If you can talk a little bit about that and then consider as part of that, there sometimes seems to be a disconnect between the two and how that happens and what should be done to alleviate it.
Excellent question, Lynn. This, I'm afraid, is an issue that I've seen in so many companies. I can bet 95% of the companies which are or will participate in the event will struggle with this. And it's my area of focus. I've been researching a lot, and then I live it on a daily basis. And the issue I face is if you bring it a bit on different terms, is the need that organizations have to change, which are the initiatives and the projects they invest in, whilst at the same time the need for running the business, running the organization, the operations, the business as usual. So there's two sides which are conflicting. In academic terms, this is referred as organizational ambidexterity, meaning that you're good at both your left and right hand, and you know how difficult is that. Very few people are good at both. You can train, you can work on that, but by nature you're good at one or the other. Are you good at running your business, or are you good at changing your business? And this is what I'm very passionate about, and researching in that connection between the run of an organization, which is crucial because it's where the money gets made, is the cash machine, while at the same time looking at the projects, at the change, at the future, where is the future value created, is not easy. It impacts everywhere, the strategy, the objectives, the prioritization.
You likened the role that you play to being a translator. Can you talk a little bit about that, how you play that role?
And this is something new. So I told you I like to research and understand. And just coming recently in the last months that I was spending maybe 80% of my time communicating, translating the vision I was getting from the executive committee and the key objectives to the people. And depending who I was talking to, I was using different words. If I was talking to marketing, I was using market share. If I was talking to IT, it's technology, architecture. If I talking to operations, it's in mind frames. People in the project side, I was talking about project, roadmaps, Gantt charts. So I realized that maybe I was talking 6, 7 different languages. And with all these languages that they use, the message gets diluted, misunderstood. So it's something I need to explore further, but I noticed there's something there which companies can do a lot, and I can share, and I will share the things I'm doing.
What role should somebody who's in a project management position play in the development of a strategy?
That's another of this language. Project management, we're technical, we use terms which is critical path, we use the Gantt chart, we use rolling wave, agile, so forget about that. If you want to talk about strategy and execution, you need to talk the talk of the people you're working for. There's always a business case. The business case might be marketing, research and development, IT. Understand the business case. Understand what you want to achieve with that. Understand the words used for that business case. Then the focus of the project manager is execution. I think that's what drives change, is the execution, but constantly communication of these messages, getting the buy-in of the people, focusing on key milestones. If you put milestones, people know where they want to go. That gives focus to the whole team. So that's very important. The execution part of project management, I think, is key in the whole strategy execution space, and constantly setting the benefits, the objectives, that why do we do this? Why do we do this project and not something else? Constantly challenging. Sometimes I told project manager, think about stopping the project. What happens? Can we? I see very few companies stopping projects, and often is the best solution too. The market changed very quickly. Companies should stop much more projects than what they do today, and have much less projects. This is a common disease, too many projects. I talk about the concept of focus, and focus means making choices and having little or few projects, few products, and it's very hard.
What are the key things that you think you would like people to walk away knowing from your presentation? Let
me point 3 things. I think what I would like that they understand is this complexity of ambidexterity. We all live world and work in an ambidextrous world where you need to prioritize. Sometimes I use my left, so I need to focus on the short term, but don't forget the long term. The second point I want that people remember is the concept of focus. Focus is about making choices, which is what strategy is about, is where you make choices, but focus on the execution of those choices. And the last one is this point again about the languages. Try to identify which languages you're using